Deneen White, it is so great to see you again. We met in Las Vegas at the Ultimate Wealth Camp and didn't have a chance to do this live. And I'm so happy that we're here now. How's everything going?
Oh my gosh, Sandee. First of all, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. It's such an honor to be here. Everything's going absolutely amazing. The way I live my life is every day I wake up is a gift. So today is a gift, and especially to be here with you. Today's one of the best days I've had in a long time.
Oh, well, thank you. I know. And we had a long conversation before this started, and I appreciate you being here today. You've got a very interesting background. I mean, right now you're working at VIP Ignite. You're one of the core people in that amazing agency. You're in the entertainment industry. I mean, that is a far cry from some of the other things that you did. So you say that you had you started your career in the entertainment industry with an aha moment. What was that aha moment for you?
Okay, well, it's a funny story. So I used to work in the dental industry. So I used to manage dental offices. Before that, I worked for a dental implant company, and I was the person who I actually taught dentists to place implants. It was a pretty cool thing I had going on. But I was friends with Michael Fomkin, who's the CEO of VIP Ignite. And he knew, we had so many conversations, and he knew that I loved what I did because I was able to help people, but he also knew that there was more, and I knew that there was more. And I was always excited to work with people, but there was always this but there's got to be something else. So one day I was working, and I was sitting there, and he called me, and don't tell my boss, but I answered the phone at the desk. Big taboo. But he said, I have something I need you to do for me. I was like, okay, what is it? He said, I need you to host a podcast for me. And I was like, okay, well, I don't really know anything about the entertainment industry. I'm painfully shy, and I've never hosted a podcast. I've listened to a couple, but I have no idea anything about this. He was like, what? You're not up for the challenge? And I'm German and Italian. I was like, of course I'm up for the challenge. And then 2 days later, I find myself interviewing the former art director of Vogue, who runs a huge agency in LA and New York. With one of his models. Fast forward, I've interviewed the man who discovered Lady Gaga, Bob Leone. I've interviewed 50 Cent's acting coach, Robert Galinsky. I've interviewed one of the most powerful women on Broadway, whose name is Pat Addis. And I haven't looked back since. And the aha moment was that when you know that there's something greater inside of you, you have to say yes to opportunities, even if they scare the living bejesus out of you. So I said yes to that opportunity, and now I'm like, I know a lot more about the entertainment industry, about how to get started in the industry. Please don't give me a pop quiz on people and their resumes. That's not my thing. But I can help. I've helped thousands of people get their start in the entertainment industry. And so the aha moment for me was, you know what? I had all of these excuses. I'm shy. I don't know anything. I've never done this. But when I put my excuses to bed and I was like, okay, you know what? Let's do this. Amazing things happen when you lean into that fear. So that was my aha moment that I like to tell people I accidentally got started in the entertainment industry.
Well, I love that you said you lean into your fear, because that's really what holds so many people back.
Yeah, it really does.
You know, I heard years ago, fear is now I'm going to forget the acronym.
False evidence appearing
real.
Thank
you. False evidence appearing real. It was right there, and I was about to say it, and poof, it was gone. Thank you. Yes, false evidence appearing real. And I heard another person explain it. I was in a mastermind group, and Jen Gottlieb, who is phenomenal. Do you know Jen?
Yeah, I know of her. I've not yet met her. One day I will.
Yeah, she's incredible. And she was like, just put your arm around fear, because it's always going to be there next to you.
Yeah.
It's almost like TV noise in the background, Mm-hmm. So that's really great. And you guys are doing so many amazing things, and some of the experiences that you guys have talked about, because I got to interview Michael as well. And that episode is going to be released shortly. I think it's coming up in another week or so. Yeah. And he's such a great mentor to have.
Oh my gosh, he's absolutely the best mentor anyone could ask for.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that you've learned by being in the entertainment industry that some people may not realize goes on, and how would you apply the things you've learned to your everyday life, because it's a crazy industry.
It's insane. And honestly, a lot of times when I have the opportunity also to interview talent to work with our company, and I'm like, why do you want to do this? This is the most insane industry that there is. But the main thing that I've learned over the past 6 years is that it doesn't matter whether it's Denzel Washington or whether it's a background extra or Oliver Stone. It doesn't matter who they are. In the morning, they all put their pants on one leg at a time. And there are so many times that I've encountered people and I'm like, I don't think I can do this. Like, let me give you an example. So about 3 years ago, during the height of the craziness of the COVID, right? So we had one of the people that we had speaking at one of our events. His name is Dan Loria. You may know him as the father from the Wonder Years, A Bronx Tale. He's done tremendous work. And I was sitting in the office, and I'm the person, like, if anyone doesn't know how to use Zoom, if anyone has any questions, I'm the one. They're like, hey, Deneen, let's do this. So Alicia came into the office and she said, Deneen, I need you to do something for me. And Alicia is the co-founder of VIP Ignite with Michael. And she was like, I need you to call Dan Loria. I was like, excuse me? And she said, I need you to call Dan Loria right now. And even when I tell the story, my palms get sweaty 3 years later. I was like, what do you want me to do? You want me to call the dad from the Wonder Years? What, are you insane? And she was like, well, I need you to talk him through, like, what he's going to talk about. And I need you to help him with Zoom. And I was like, and she took a photo of me, and I'm like this, hi, Dan Loria, it's Deneen White. But the thing that I learned is, like, I was so intimidated because if you look at his resume, if you look at his body of experience, if you look at the people that he's worked with, he has such a long career. And I was like, he's going to think I'm a complete idiot. Like, why is he even taking my call? That's what I thought. But when I got on the phone with him, he was the nicest person I've ever talked to in my life. And I learned more. He did a 3-hour call for us. I learned more from him in those 3 hours than anyone I've ever heard from. And the point that I'm trying to make here is that everyone is approachable. And I think that so many times, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're a speaker, you're trying to be an actor, model, or musician, you think, okay, well, you know what? Like, this person has such a level of success. They've won so many awards. They're not approachable. Why would they even talk to me? But you know this, you host a podcast. The one thing that people love to talk about is themselves. Yes. And the one thing I've learned with people in the entertainment industry is the truly successful ones is that they remember where they came from. And we hear this every time we meet someone who's new to our company, who's never interacted with us before. When we tell them what we do, because just in case you guys don't know what we do. So what we do is we empower actors, models, and musicians to create their own success by giving them the tools, resources, and connections that they need. So many times people are afraid to ask for help. But what we hear over and over and over and over again from people at the very highest level of Hollywood is, wow, where were you when I was getting started? What we do is the way that we connect people and we train people, it's something that no other company does. Other companies claim to do it, but we have a proven track record of success. I mean, one of the people that we work with is Keith Shockley. He founded the group Public Enemy. The first time I talked to him, I almost fainted too. I'm talking to this man who is a living legend. Like, I listened to his music through high school, right? His music was our anthems in high school. Wall of gold records. Like, imagine this. Like, you're just getting started in the industry. You're talking to a man who has a wall of gold records. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He was inducted into the African American Hall of Fame. One of his good friends is Spike Lee. And I'm calling him to be like, hey, would you like to do a Zoom call with us? But again, like, he's nicest person in the world. So long stories short, everyone in the industry is approachable. Whether it's all about how you approach them too. Like, if you go to someone like, hey, this is what I want from you, they're going to be like, okay, well, good luck. But when you approach someone and you bring them value and you help them to be that person that they needed when they got started, amazing things can happen.
Yeah. And I love that, because it really is, everything in life is who you surround yourself with.
Yeah. Yeah. You're the sum total of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And here at VIP Ignite, where Alicia and Michael worked really hard for the last 16 years to create a network of people that we interact with that have the same morals and values that we do. Like, we don't, like, it's really easy to find all the dirt on Hollywood. Okay, turn on your TV right now. You'll hear about like I'm not even mentioning their names because I don't even let their names pass my lips, but you'll hear about all the garbage going on in Hollywood. It's really easy to find that. But what I want you to understand is that there are so many amazing people. And when you live your life to a standard like we do, then the people that you interact, you don't get the bottom feeders, if you will. You get the people who are interacting at the highest level, who want the best for you and for the people that you're bringing into the industry.
So the bottom line is the entertainment industry isn't all bad.
No, it's not. And that's what I thought too. Honestly, again, when Mike was like, "Hey, I want you to interview actors, models, and musicians," I'm like, what am I going to ask them? I had an antipathy for Hollywood, to be really honest with you, because I believed the headlines. Like, it's really easy. And you know what? I'm not going to lie and say that there's not a lot of garbage going on in Hollywood, but there's a lot of garbage going on with lawyers, with dentists, with doctors. What you look for is what you're going to get. Like, if you Google something with a negative spin, you're going to get all the negativity. If you Google something with a positive spin, you're going to get all the positivity. So the question I ask people is, what questions are you asking? Like, do you want this to be real? If you do, let's work together. But if you're going to come to me and be negative, why would I even want to work with you?
Exactly. So how do people get started with VIP Ignite?
Well, the first thing that we do, we have a vetting process also, which kind of differentiates us from other companies. So if you wanted to get started with us, we have what's called an open call. So we do a 2-hour call to explain the industry to people. We break down the reality. Because a lot of times companies are like, oh, everyone, if you've ever tried to be a model, you've probably said, well, if someone wants to work with me, I don't have to pay anything. Well, that's not true. That's if you're coming in as you're already a model. But what we do is we have an open call. We do it twice a week. So you can get on the open call. Am I allowed to share the link?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the link is ammsociety.com, ammsociety.com. So what you would do is you would get on, you would register for an open call. We do a 2-hour call twice a week where we lay down everything that you need to know about the industry, like why you should pay. Like, for example, one of the reasons you should invest in your own career is because then you have more control over your career. If you have someone else paying your bills for you, then you have to do what they say. But when you're making the investment, then you have the right to say yes or no to things that do or do not align with your morals, right? So we do the vetting process. You go through the 2-hour call, and then we do a one-on-one interview with all of our talent because we want to know that you're people that we want to work with. Like, we actually have a lower entrance rate than Harvard University. We've recently done a run of our numbers. We've rejected more people than Harvard has. Because there are certain people like if you're coming to me, you're like, oh my God, I want to be famous. I'm going to be like, that's awesome. Good luck. Here's another company you can go to. Because we're not interested in working with people that want to be famous. We're not interested with people that want to be rich. We're interested in working with people that are heart-centered and faith-based. Because that's what we are. Like, at the end of the day, we're heart-centered. So we want to work with people that we want to work with. We want to work with people who have a why. One of the things that we stand for here at VIP Ignite is we want to eradicate human trafficking. When I first started working with VIP Ignite and I started interviewing talent, there was a month where I had 3 talent that almost got sold into human trafficking. Like, they were, oh, you know what, let's fly you to Jamaica. We'll take some photos, but you have to give me your passport. Heck no one is allowed to touch my passport. Don't fall for that. So we've partnered with Operation Underground Railroad, and we also partner with Tony Robbins Foundation and with ClickFunnels, Russell Brunson. And throughout the last couple of years, we've helped to free over 3,500 women and children from sex trafficking. So we have a big why. When you want to eradicate the largest grossing industry in the world, you have a big why. So we want to work with people that have a big why. So the first step is to go through the open call. This way we can teach you about the industry. If you like the truth, then what you'll do is you'll sign up for a one-on-one interview, and then we vet you and we get to know you, and we make a decision that way. The other way is we also do 2-day boot camps once or twice a month where we have we just had a boot camp a couple days ago, last weekend. It seems like 2 weeks ago. But we had Les Brown on our boot camp. We had George Chanos, the former Attorney General of Nevada, on our boot camp. And Alicia was joking. She was like, it's funny. Most companies, they run from the Attorney General. We welcome him in. We're like, come on, sir. Come talk to our people. And he texted me right after. He's like, hey, when can I do that again? So there are the two ways to get involved. Open call, which then you'll schedule an interview, or then you go to the boot camp. But then we also schedule interviews because, again, even if you go through a 16-hour call, we want to make sure that you're someone that we can help be successful, because we have a proven track record of success, and we only want to work with people that are willing to put in the work to be successful.
I love it. So what are you telling them during the boot camp? Like, because Les Brown and the Attorney General are two different.
They make no sense when it comes to the entertainment industry. Exactly. But you know what, Sandee, the thing is that there are universal principles of success for every industry.
Right. Of course.
Like whether you're an actor, model, musician, entrepreneur, lawyer, doctor, dentist, restaurateur, it doesn't matter. There are certain principles of success that are immutable. So Les Brown talked about being heart-centered. He told everyone his story. So,
which is incredible.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying not to cry, because if I cry, my makeup will run. But when he told his story, we actually had a couple of people who, just because of his story, were like, oh my God, if you work with someone like Les Brown, we want to work with you. So what we talk about on the boot camp is, it's not so much about the entertainment industry. We do talk about the entertainment industry, but success in life is 80% mindset and 20% tactics. So
right.
If you have a good mindset, if you're someone who's strong, you know that you can succeed, you know that you have what it takes. It doesn't matter what you do. I think it was Henry Ford. If I'm wrong, please don't throw stones at me. But I believe it was Henry Ford who said, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're correct.
Exactly. And I think that is correct. I believe it was Henry Ford, but
so many people have used it. It's hard to attribute it to the right person.
Exactly.
But yeah, so Les Brown talked about mindset. He talked about being heart-centered, and George Chanos talked about the future. Well, something we joked about is at the end of we split the boot camps into 2 days. So the first day is foundation. So that's where we reform their mindsets of the people. The second day is we also bring in agents. One of the agents that we had on talking has kids on Nickelodeon. She has one of the leads on All American. She has one of the leads on the show Wednesday. So we have agents come on also. But again, there are these immutable principles of success. And what we do is we show people that you don't just have to be signed to an agency to be successful. But if you want a true success in the entertainment industry, you do, of course. But we bring in a wide variety of people that give different pieces of how to be successful, and then we tie it together with the entertainment industry. I don't know if that makes sense. It's hard. It's hard to put 16 hours into a 1-minute clip on how do you do this.
No, that's great, and I just wanted to make sure the audience had a good understanding of what your boot camp is all about. No, that's incredible, because whether or not they make it in the entertainment industry, everything that they're going to learn during your boot camp is going to help them succeed in life.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about. It's about success in your life. And you can take that, and apply it to whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah. If I can share with you one story. So
please.
There was this one woman that we worked with this is again, back in the beginning when I started working with the company. She is an accountant by trade. And when I met her, she was super meek and mild. She would talk like this. I'm like, huh? What did you say? I can't even hear you. So we did the podcast. And then after the podcast, we had a follow-up call. And she was like, okay, Deneen, well, what can I do to start being more successful in the entertainment industry? So I gave her a suggestion of something that she could do. I told her that one of the things that we suggest our talent do is become a part of community theater. It doesn't cost you anything but your time. And then you get a lot of experience. So she was like, okay, I'll do it. So 2 or 3 weeks later, I got a call from her and she was so excited. She's like, Deneen, guess what? I was like, what? She's like, I got a role in community theater. I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm so proud of you. Tell me more about this. She's like, well, I got the lead. And I was thinking, how did she get the lead? But I was like, okay, that's awesome. You got the lead. That's amazing. Tell me what production. She said, I got the lead in Schoolhouse Rocks. I was like,
wow.
You got the lead in a musical in community theater, and I didn't mention that she was in Atlanta. She's like, yes, I did. And I was like, that's amazing. And the amazing part wasn't just her getting that role, but just seeing her transform. After I saw that her confidence kept going up and up and up. When we first met her, she was too meek and mild to like really be assertive at work. But since then, she's gone on to get her CPA. And she keeps getting promotion after promotion after promotion. So she's still doing a little modeling and acting, which is awesome because she's absolutely beautiful inside and out. But for me, the real success is now, no matter what industry she's in, she's willing to speak up for herself in a positive way. So that's what success is.
Love it. I love it. So we only have a couple of minutes left. What else would you like to share with the audience that we didn't have a chance to touch on so far?
Oh, there are so many things I would like to share with the audience, but I think the one thing that I want everyone to understand is if you truly want to be successful in any area of your life, you have to have a why. You have to know why you're doing this because you know what? There are days where you get up and you're like, yes, I get to go do this. It's amazing. And then there are days where you didn't get any sleep the night before. You just did one of the hardest things you've ever had to do in your whole entire life, but you still have to get up and you have to show up for people. Right. And it's in those moments where you're truly tested. So know why you're doing this. So if you're an entrepreneur, why are you an entrepreneur? Like, who do you want to impact? And it can't, again, and I mentioned this before, it can't be because you want to make a lot of money. Right. It can't be because you want to be famous. Like, there are really easy ways to get a lot of money. Go rob a bank. You'll be rich and famous, but then you'll be in jail. So don't do that. I'm just joking. But like the point I'm trying to make is that you have to figure out why you're doing this. And if you can't figure that out, then sit down and think about, okay, well, what's something that if I had power over the whole world that I would stop? Like, what is one of those things that you would do? And the other thing that I want you to understand too is that you already have everything inside of you that you need to be successful. But you need to surround yourself by the right people to pull that out of you. If I didn't have Michael in my life, I would be in a dental office right now scheduling someone for a root canal. That sounds real glamorous, doesn't it? And there are people that are called to do that, and God bless you guys. I love you to death. But if I didn't have Michael in my life, I wouldn't be here speaking to you today, Sandee. You and I would have never met, and my life would be so much poorer for that. If I didn't have Alicia in my life pushing me to talk to people like Dan Loria and Keith Shockley, I would still be living my life afraid of every person I interact with. But now I know, you know what? I can do this. And when I say these things, I don't say them to impress you, but I say them to impress upon you. If a shy little girl who is working in a dental office can do this, you can too. The only thing special about me is that I leaned into my fear and then I surrounded myself by people that saw the best of me and pulled it out. So that's what I would like to leave with everyone.
Oh, so beautifully said. And that's like a huge golden nugget that people can apply right away. Just lean into that fear. And so thank you for reiterating that. Thank you for telling your story.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best continued success. And it's such an honor and a privilege to meet you and to have this time with you today, Deneen. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much, Sandee, for the opportunity to share. And I hope that one person leans into fear and changes their whole life, because then everything I've ever gone through in my life was worth it. So thank you for the opportunity to share my story.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for listening today.
Thanks.